then I'm just gonna feel bad, right? So there was this girl, right? So hold on, let me just take it back. Okay, so I went to this dance, right, with some friends, of course. And I was just hanging out with my friends, talking to the boys, you know what I'm saying, just chilling, you know what I'm saying, just chilling with the fellas, you know what I'm saying. So, I'm chilling, talking to the boys, you know what I'm saying, and I noticed that this girl keeps staring at me, right? She's staring at me and she's smiling, right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this girl likes me, right? Then I was like, you know what? No, that's just me being arrogant. She don't like me. Just because a girl stares at you, that don't mean she like you. You know what I'm saying? So she keeps staring at me, right? And I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, first of all, I don't like being stared at, right? I don't like it. It makes me feel like a zoo animal. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, the group disperses, right? Everybody walks their own way. So I'm just walking around, looking for people to talk to, you know what I'm saying? So then her and her friend, they cut me off as I'm walking. Like they completely like just cut me off and got in front of me, right? So then the girl's friend, she's like, "Hey, my name is so and so." I forgot what her name was. And the other girl, she was like, "Hey, I'm this and that," right? She was like, "What's your name?" I tell her my name, and then she was like, "On the next slow song, you want to dance with me?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Cause I'm not a douche, right? I don't say no when people ask me to dance. I don't say no unless it's a dude. Then I'm like, "Nah, fam." You know what I'm saying? But that only happened once, only one time. But anyways, so the next slow song comes on. I'm looking for her, right? I'm like, where's she at? You know what I'm saying? Because, I told her I was going to dance with her, so I was going to dance with her, right? So as I'm looking for her, this guy comes in, and like he comes in with, I'm assuming was his brother, right? And then I see her. She runs straight past me and just jumps on this guy, right? So I'm assuming, like at the at first glance, it looked like they were friends, right? Because like they were hugging and whatnot. I was like, okay, maybe they're just friends, right? And then they were hugging for about a minute or two, right? Just straight hugging, no rest, no breaks in between, just hugging, right? I was like, okay, maybe they're just best friends, right? Then they like start kissing each other on the cheeks and stuff. I was like, okay, okay, yeah, they're official, like they're dating, right? So then, like I was mad, I was upset, right? Because she basically tried to make me her side piece, and I ain't nobody's side piece. You feel me? So she her friend is looking at me, right? And she's looking at me, look at her friend. I'm just like watching this happen, right? And then her friend is like, I guess the lookout or whatever. So as I'm walking over to them, her friend looks at her. She's like, ugh, like no, like it's about to be bad, right? So I go over there and I just introduced myself. You know what I'm saying? I just introduced myself to the dude, right? Because there was no need to introduce myself to the girl. She already knew who I was, right? So then all I wanted to do was make her sweat. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to make her sweat. Wanted to make her nervous. So I introduced myself and I walked away, right? Let me tell you why that didn't work, okay? She seemed a little too happy afterwards. She was just too happy. And that made me mad, right? The fact that she was happy made me mad, right? So then I walked over there. I was like, hey, yo, my man, let me talk to you real quick, okay? So then I'm talking to this dude, making small talk, asking him where he's from and all that stuff, right? And I look over his shoulder and I see her, right, the girl, and she is panicking. She is freaking out, right? And I'm loving it, right? I'm loving every second of it, right? And then I was like, should I not tell him and then make her tell him accidentally? Or should I just tell him so that he knows, right? So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to tell him. Because if it was my girl, I would want to know, you know? So I tell him what happened between me and his girlfriend or whatever. And then he goes back over to her. Like, he doesn't even make a facial expression. As I'm telling him what's going on, he makes no expression whatsoever. He's just straight faced, just staring at me the whole time, like he doesn't even believe me, right? So I see him. He walks back over to his girl, and then from what I see, I didn't hear anything, but it looked like she was apologizing to him. That's what it looked like. But my job had been done because she was upset, and that made me happy, right? The fact that she was upset made me happy. Later on that night, fast forward like an hour or two, right? A friend of mine, he sees me, he's like, "Yo, you're my favorite YouTuber," and I was like, "Hey, let your favorite YouTuber get you a girl," right? Because I was feeling myself that night. I ain't gonna lie. I had a lot of confidence, I was getting a lot of numbers that day. Not for me, but for other people, right? So then, as I'm talking, I was like, let me get you a girl, right? He goes, "Okay." I was like, "Pick a girl, and I'll get her number for you." He was like, "All right, the blonde right behind you." I was like, "Okay." So I turned around. Here was the problem. There was two blondes. Right? There were two blondes behind me. There was one I knew and one I didn't know. Right? So of course, I went to the one I knew. Right? So I walk over to her. I'm like, "Hey, there's somebody I want you to meet." And I'll go back over to him. He walks by me. He's like, "That's the wrong girl." I was like, "Oh snap!" Right? I done goofed. So, uh, perfectly, right on cue, slow song comes on. I'm like, perfect, right? So I was like, while I got your attention, you want to dance, right? So we dance. I'm dancing with her, and as I'm dancing with her, our happy couple just happened to stroll on by, and like she was just smiling the whole time, just smiling at me. I'm just like, what do you want from me, right? Like, what do you want? I sure, I told you man's the truth, right? I didn't necessarily try to break up their relationship. I just didn't want her to be happy, right? But she's happy now, so yeah. So that's my story. Oh, yeah, and yes, I did end up getting her number, that girl's number that I was dancing with. I ended up getting her number. Not for me. I mean, I did use it, but it wasn't. Okay. Because here's why I got her number. First of all, I did it as a friend. Like I wasn't getting it to flirt with her. I was just, just wanting to talk to her as a friend. But I had her sister's number, and I like her. I liked her sister. Right? Like her sister. So I figured, you know what? Since I have her sister's number, I might as well get hers too, right? So I got her number, and that's that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. If you do, tell your girl happy Valentine's. Be my Valentine, all that good stuff. Your boy ain't got no Valentine. I'm just out here lonely and